India, as she is now, has made history by returning to TV screens, and she's here to tell her story. Please welcome India Willoughby.
Lovely to be here.
Welcome to you. How are you feeling?
Thank you, Colleen. I feel great. Do you know what? They might be running out of Marmite, but they're not running out of polka dot. It's leopard skin.
I'm loving your shoes.
I'm loving your shoes.
Thank you very much, ladies. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Well, you look so confident. I cannot imagine how you felt 2 or 3 years ago.
So when is the best time to reveal that big secret? And I'm going to come straight to you because you had a massive secret for the whole of your life, really.
Biggest secret possible. I mean, there was one big secret that I never told my ex-wife, and that was that I never liked her Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, she'd be devastated.
Only joking if she's watching. We're getting very well. We're on very good terms. I was really shocked.
That's what you meant.
Okay. I was really shocked by the language you're using there. Pathology, you know, hinting that it's a disability. I mean, it's nothing. I think you can get really confused, Kathy. You want to get with it. Maybe me and you should go shopping. Maybe go on a spa day.
So when you were little and when you were growing up, how difficult was it for you to sort of conform to what people expected you to be?
Well, I think from my earliest memories, I've always sort of felt that I didn't really fit my skin. But at an early age, you're not really aware of gender as a concept as such. But around the sort of age of 5 or 6, I started to appreciate that there was a difference. And I knew straight away that I was on the wrong side. But actually speaking out, I mean, I grew up towards the sort of late 70s. And actually articulating that or telling somebody would have been ludicrous. I may as well have been telling people I was Napoleon or a wardrobe. It would have just sounded absolutely ridiculous. And
but you finally told your son, didn't you?
I did.
And you told him before you had the operation?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, my son's 17
What year was that you told him?
That was last year. Yeah. And that was the hardest part of the whole process from the time I was a kid until that point was telling my son, because he is the apple of my eye. And I told him, and I said, look, I couldn't articulate it, so I had to write it down. I said, read this letter, I'm going to sit on the park bench. He came over and he said, it changes nothing. You know,
and he's been your rock all the way through.
Yeah.
And how proud are you, you know, that he's been such a rock for you?
I am super proud. I think for anyone in my family, this has been a big shift. It's been like a bereavement for them in many ways, because a person has died, you know, that they grew up with.
Right.
But obviously for my son, I'm very protective of him. He was my main concern. So for the fact that he's OK about it is...
That's incredible.
Massively.
And how are you feeling now as India?
I am fine.
You look fantastic.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling inside? How are you feeling about all of it, about the change that you've made?
Terrific. Do you know what? It's like... The analogy I use, it's like having an Android brain and an Apple body. They don't sync.
Right.
So you have to have the same thing that speaks to each other. And the last 5 years, it's been a heck of a journey.
Sure.
But now I feel absolutely fantastic.
India, please.
Honestly, I feel I'm connected in a time loop to the 1940s. It's really bizarre. All I will say is that I watched Bill and Ben. I did want to grow up and live in a plant pot. I watched Muffin the Mule. Did I want to be a donkey? No. We're talking about a children's programme.
Do you ever say anything as a child to anyone like, I feel different to other people?
No. And the reason I didn't, I think, because I grew up in the 70s, I think we all pretty well... Maybe not this side, but certainly this side. We all remember the 70s, and it was all like Les Dawson, Danny LaRue...
Well, I can't imagine you, as Jonathan, working in a regional newsroom, which is so macho.
Yeah. You're talking about keeping the mystique in a relationship. Yeah. And you had to share Elvis with everyone.
I shared him with everyone.
So do you feel that had an impact on your relationship with Elvis?
Yes. I mean, it was fear. You know, I lived with a group of men, 8 men, basically. Some of them were married, some of them weren't. Whether they were married or not didn't make any difference.
I think it's so important to know who you actually are. That's the real kernel of truth, you know, that you build your whole life on.
Of course.
And people who are transgender, they simply don't have that. You know, for a lot of people, it's a masquerade and it's an act growing up as this person that everyone else sees, but you're actually on the inside because your gender identity is programmed into your brain.
Yeah.
Can't have a brain transplant, so you've got to align the body.
Indeed. No, that makes perfect sense, actually, what you've just said. It really, really does.